We are about to experience some of the biggest months in AR and VR's history, from incredible new upcoming AAA titles coming to the Quest to a boatload of new updates to existing games, bringing them into mixed reality. We also go deeper into the incredible new Steam Quest app to a closer, more detailed look at the upcoming V60 update. Strap in because this is everything coming to the Meta Quest 3. First up, as you all probably know by now, Steam just dropped a huge bombshell in the form of a Steam Link app, a dedicated app available free on Quest. And what I can tell you immediately is it's clearly the quickest way to get into Steam VR. Pretty much less than 30 seconds you go from Quest app straight into Steam VR. Now, I'm not a fair judge when it comes to wireless PC VR, as my internet is just not up to the task, but from what the initial reviews seem to be, it sits somewhere in between AirLink and Virtual Desktop. The app gives you several options for bitrate and image quality, but really the bigger question is why? Why now? It does make you think if Valve are just testing the waters for PC VR wireless streaming before the release of the much anticipated Valve Decard. And with the latest rumours being the Decard will use an external device to run Steam VR, it's very likely this could be some sort of testing ground for Valve, as they do like to get things right first time. Let's talk about the new Quest update, which is V60. Now, this update has come earlier than expected, and while it's not that much of a huge deal, what is a huge deal is what follows. But what's included in this update? Well, to start, we'll get 3 new home environments: Blue Hill Gold Mine, Storybook, and Lakeside Peak. Now, these are some impressive new environments, but I'm sure most of you are using the mixed reality environments now. So for me personally, these are already pretty redundant. There have been also slight changes to the profile design with some new functionalities such as shared apps and experiences. The Quest Pro is also getting a huge power boost of 34% increase in CPU and 19% increase in GPU performance, which is kind of huge. There is also a new built-in measuring app called Layout, where you can specifically measure things inside your room. Now, by the looks of it, this is a visualization tool. If you've ever used an AR app from TV companies or IKEA, you'll get an idea of what objects will look like in your space, and so I imagine this is the purpose of this integration. And keeping on to the subject of boundaries, it looks like if you enable SharePoint cloud data, you'll have an increased memory for your boundaries, which I find slightly odd, as I can't imagine much memory would be utilised to remember the play space. Another addition is the way apps can load. Instead of being stuck in a loading screen void, developers now have the option to keep you in your home environment until the game is ready. Each update obviously comes with minor improvements to all functionalities, but where I think the interesting stuff happens is what follows. And that's hopefully, fingers crossed, 2 things. Zuck announced in December xCloud would be available on Quest, and maybe they squeeze this update out early to ensure a stable release for xCloud. Connecting an Xbox controller, for example, never seemed to work properly when using xCloud over a browser, but this could be about to change. Another addition we could receive in December is the much anticipated augments, spatial anchors inside our real-world environments, so essentially you can create your own mixed reality home environments, like the one shown on screen now. There are smaller additions to V60, but they are relatively minor. I'll leave all the notes in the description if you'd like to check them out. But let's move on to the games, because there are some seriously big titles coming to the Quest over the next few months. But before I do, I just want to talk about today's sponsor. KatVR have been providing solutions for VR locomotion for a number of years now, and they are the clear industry standard when it comes to VR treadmills. But just recently, they've had some groundbreaking innovations with their Quest standalone device, the Cat Nexus. The Nexus allows you to use your catwalk with just a standalone Quest, no PC required. And thanks to the team at KatVR, you can now play over 100 standalone VR titles. These include brand new games such as Assassin's Creed, The Walking Dead, Bone Lab, and loads more. They also have an incredible Christmas promotion going on with the KatWalk C2 Plus and the KatWalk C2 Core with Vehicle Hub for as low as $8.99, which is by far the cheapest VR treadmill you can buy today. So if you'd like to check them out, links are in the description. But now onto the games. The next few months are going to be some of the biggest months in terms of games for VR, and a lot of the big ones release, well, tomorrow. But unfortunately, there are also some delays. Attack on Titan was a title that was supposed to release around now, but according to the developers, to deliver the highest quality product to all the players around the world, we need a little more time to complete it. There is no clarification of how far this is pushed back, but I think we can all agree that we prefer a finished, more polished product. Another game that has been delayed is Stranger Things VR, a highly anticipated title where you seem to play as Vecna. But onto what's coming. Now I'm going to cover the bigger titles. As of the 7th of December, Arizona Sunshine 2 will be out, and for what the early gameplay shows, it's an improvement over the first game in almost every single way. Better physics, better graphics, and well, a dog. One thing I am noticing though, and I hope this is a positive thing for developers, is games are becoming increasingly more expensive, closer to console prices, and while I'm fine with this, as long as they are console quality and length, but time will tell on this one. Another game coming on the 7th is LEGO Bricktales, an incredible looking mixed reality game where you get to build and play what you build in your own space. I love that games are incorporating mixed reality, and it does genuinely add to the experiences, and this is what I can expect from older games. Synth Riders, Blast On and Demeo are great examples of a perfect integration, but we can expect more, and there are titles working on adding mixed reality, and that's Beat Saber. They released a demo a short while ago showing an early demo of what it looks like, and while we don't have an expected release date of this update, I'm sure it won't be long, and personally I'm pitching something along the lines of what Synth Riders are doing. Another game that has just been released that you might want to check out is Arashi Castles of Sin, a game made by the legendary devs that made The Walking Dead. Now unfortunately it does look like this stealth assassins game has slightly missed the mark with average reviews at best, but these are more graphical and bug related issues, and so hopefully they can be fixed. Next is Wallace & Gromit, The Grand Getaway, coming the 14th of December. This funny looking game reminds me of the earlier VR titles, where essentially they're filled with minigames. I don't expect this to be a full blown title, but it does look fun. The last two I'll talk about is Asgard's Wrath 2 and San Andreas VR. Asgard's Wrath 2 is coming December 15, and to be honest, this could be the Halo of the Quest, and by that I mean a system seller. I say that because this will be a full-blown, supposed 60-hour narrative-driven campaign, with stunning visuals and physics-based combat. This open-world VR game looks incredible, and if it lives up to the hype of the original, then this will be an insane game. Now, all of the attention is on GTA 6 at the moment, and while we have covered a lot of San Andreas information, I thought I'd share with you another bit of promising news or leak. One of the voice actors for the game accidentally left what was essentially San Andreas VR on his resume, and shortly after that was removed. Now it really does confuse me how Rockstar and the surrounding companies try to keep it so quiet, as this would be massive news. If it was announced tomorrow that San Andreas VR would release in 2025, this alone would sell systems. But I still strongly believe this game is coming, and that's mainly because what I cover in this video, because everything is not what you think. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.